I guess the best advice I can give is like definitely go out there, experiment. Don't be shy to experiment. If you do something and it doesn't turn out the way you imagined it, that's fine. It's just another project. You can do another one that could be 10 times better and then you won't even remember it.
So when did you start photography?
I think I got my first camera. It was about grade 10. Back then, I wasn't really taking it as serious. It was just kind of like a hobby and everything. I originally just wanted a camera so I could get like really good profile pictures for Facebook for me and my friends. But after that, I took a class. It was communications technology, and there was kind of I don't want to say a contest, but there was like a competition type thing where it was like you had to design a poster and you had to use all of your own photography and graphic design skills. And I never did anything before that with it. And I was just trying it out. And I think it was like 2 weeks later, my teacher came to me and I ended up winning out of the school district or something like that. And then I was later on presented with like an award and they put me up on stage and everything. I got a certificate for it. And that was kind of just like an eye opener for me to be like, oh, maybe you should pursue this a little bit more, maybe like lean into it, get a little creative. And at that time, I was a little bit more on the graphic design side of that field. And then I went to Fanshawe College. They had a little photography studio that you could like rent out and that. And if I wasn't doing homework or working, I was in that studio. I was meeting up with new creatives, checking out different artists in like London, like makeup artists, stylists, and that. And I did my first collab. I was really nervous. And after that shoot, it just kind of opened my eye to photography more. And I was like, okay, no, I don't think graphic design maybe is my first thing. I think it's more so photography. And then that's when I got more into that. And yeah, now I'm here.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So, and like I seen your style of photography and that kind of stuff, right?
hmm
Where do you think you get like inspiration from?
Oh, I get it from a lot of different things. Like, honestly, sometimes I could just be like, oh, going on a walk or even going to like the dollar store and I see something, I'm like, oh, I could use that in a photo shoot. And then it comes up with like a huge concept. But the main inspiration, I would say, is probably music. And then I grew up a lot watching like America's Next Top Model, being obsessed with like artists like Britney Spears and really loving pop culture. So that definitely has an influence on my work. But I also try to, like stick with things that are current, try out some new trends, and never put myself in a box and let myself like experiment and try different things.
It's funny that you say you like Britney Spears because of your age, right? Like your age,
Yeah.
like you probably learned Britney Spears after Britney Spears was already off. Like when I say off, like she wasn't making music no more.
No, I when I was a kid, when was it? I think our first song came out in 1998, and that's when I was born. But I think it was like, I don't know, like maybe 2002, 2003 when it was like VMAs or something like that. I think that was the first time I was like introduced to her. And then I don't know, my mom would have like the concerts on the TV and it was Britney Spears, Shania Twain, and always strong women that were very like outspoken and didn't really,
Yeah,
hide themselves. They express themselves. And I grew up with just like my mom and my sister. So I didn't really have too many, I guess, like male figures in my life where that kind of just got me to the point where I'm like, no, I really like appreciate and love women and I want to help them feel good and look good and just have a good time. Cause like doing a photo shoot, like I've done like a self portrait before to see what it's kind of like to have that experience, and like it really does boost your self esteem.
yeah,
Like
for
it's
sure.
like a big like uplift and all that. And before models would like send me messages being like, "Oh my god, I had such a good time. I feel so much better now," and everything. I was like, "Oh, like I'm sure it's not that big of a deal." But then like getting that experience firsthand myself, I was like, "Oh wow, no, this is actually something special in that." And I love being surrounded by strong, powerful women and creating with them.
Yeah, yeah. So I mean, like, the explanation you give, pretty much describe your photography style.
Yeah.
Which is pretty dope. And um, talking about Britney Spears, like my wife and I was talking last night, and we were introducing my my daughter to
Mhm.
like Britney Spears,
Okay.
and then my wife tells me that this one song every time.
Oh, yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah, I like. She's like, oh, Vaughn, before you listen to the song again, just know that this song is for apparently they made her take an abortion,
Yes, with Justin Timberlake. Yeah,
right?
yeah,
And then
yeah,
she's like, now listen to it and hear what she says. And I
yeah.
listened to it and I'm like, how could I have been a kid that was so blind? Because at first, like when I was younger, I thought, oh, Justin Timberlake broke up with her
Mhm.
and she wants him back. But like
Yeah.
even the music video, it was her in a hospital room and a lady with a baby, and
Yeah.
I'm like, wow.
It's crazy that no one ever, like, thought of that, but,
Yeah.
like, I guess it was kind of just a little too insane to, like, think that was,
And
like,
apparently
real.
it's like the only song she wrote.
Oh, is it? I didn't
Yeah.
know. Oh, I don't know all the facts on, like, if she, like, writes her own stuff or not, but, like, damn, that's surprising,
Yeah, I heard
so.
like someone said that apparently that's the only song she wrote.
Oh, wow.
Hmm.
Well, it definitely has a different meaning now that everyone knows.
Yeah. So you said you grew up with your mom and your sister,
Yeah.
right? Was your dad around at all? Or?
He came around a bit, but we kinda had, like, a rocky relationship. My dad's Turkish, and my mom's just Canadian, and she grew up in Timmins on a farm, so very different, like, cultures and everything, and, um, I don't really know all the details to it and all that, but he was here and there, but I never really needed him. I had a strong mother who I loved so much and everything, and she was also very creative herself too, like, she's always, like, been into stuff like crafts and she does a lot of like these little like roses and things out of fabric and everything. She's starting like a little business out of it and that. And I honestly think she's where I got the creativity from. If she was here, she'd be like, "Oh no, not at all." But I definitely think that's who I got it from.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. So like, do you guys have a relationship now? You and your dad or no?
not so much. No,
Not so much, eh?
no.
So do you think it was? This is a conversation I have a lot, and do you think it was better that he was there but not really there, or do you wish he just never came around?
That's a tough one because like I obviously like I loved my father and everything, and I liked seeing him and all that, but we just had a really difficult relationship where I never really felt too good about myself when I was with him and that side of the family and that. Um, but like, if he was more involved, I honestly don't know that I would be who I am today.
Yeah,
I don't think I would be as driven and hungry just because, like, when I had my mom, like, she was someone who, like, raised me to, like, be, like, very I don't wanna say productive, but, like, if I wanted something, I had to, like
independent.
independent, exactly. I had to be independent, I had to work for it and really put myself out there to get it, and I love that skill that I have now and everything, where if he was there, I feel like I probably woulda put myself in a shell a little bit more. I don't think I would have had been as open and everything, and I'm openly homosexual and everything, and I don't think would be that accepting of it, but I honestly don't really need his acceptance because I have a loving, supporting family. I have a good support system of friends, and I don't know, I couldn't be any happier. So
Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
yeah, I feel you. 'Cause I feel like with my dad, it was kind of the same.
hmm
But I feel like my dad, he was there, but he wasn't there.
yeah.
And I always felt like that made it kind of worse.
Okay, yeah, I can see
Because I
that.
feel like like guys whose dad, like for instance, even like your dad, like if he wasn't there as much, right? At least then you know that he didn't really want to be there.
Yeah,
But like when your dad there and he's not really there mentally,
yeah.
you're like,
It's like teasing you.
yeah, it's like it's second guessing yourself. So then you
Yeah,
try doing a bunch of things to get happy for him to be happy, and then it doesn't work, and then
yeah, and it's
so
just
it's
not
more
worth
yeah, it's
it.
more like mental.
Absolutely.
Um, so I always had this conversation with people to see which one they would rather, So I
Mhm.
don't know. It's different, and likewise for you, I feel like my mom is the one who really pushed, because my mom wanted me to do film. And if you don't ever don't understand what I'm saying,
Mhm.
just be like, slow down.
No, I've got
Cause I
you, I'm
speak
good,
yeah, I
yeah.
speak quick, yeah.
Mhm.
So my mom wanted me to do film when I was a kid. Like I would always do, like, I would take her phone and I'll record movies with my little brother.
Yeah,
And we'll make these moves, and like we'll discuss the moves before we shoot, and
yeah.
we'll say like, okay, so your moves is like, your move right now is duck, duck, jump, step to the left, step to the right.
Okay.
Okay. And you have to remember your moves because I'm swinging.
Oh,
And then
okay.
vice versa. So when he's swinging, I have to remember my moves, or else I get hit.
Yeah, yeah,
But once you remember your moves, you never get hit.
yeah.
So we'd always do like action movies and that kind of stuff
Okay,
on her phone.
okay.
Like we have none of those things anymore.
Yeah,
Uh because like memory for stuff was
yeah,
limited
different.
back then. It wasn't like
Yeah.
you had a phone with so much memory on it. But we would always have fun doing that and stuff. And she always wanted me to do film and poetry because I would
Okay.
always write like poems. But
Nice.
I just didn't see a future in it back then. I thought it
Yeah.
was like, and then people would laugh at me if I was doing poems, right? I grew up in a place that was like, it's Trinidad, you know. So people would like laugh at you
Hmm.
if you do. I remember one time a guy called me gay for eating ice cream. He's like, "Oh, you eating ice cream? That's gay." I'm
Well,
like,
then I'm
"Wait."
very gay because I love ice
But I'm
cream.
like, yo,
Yeah.
how? I'm like, how is that gay? Because I'm eating ice cream. He's like, oh yeah, it's just gay. I said,
Interesting. Okay.
it's like that kind of society, right? Like back then, it was like way different like that. So
Yeah.
and it made it made me kind of deter from being creative because I was also funny, and I would have to
Mm.
hide how funny I was because then people would see it as a weakness. You
Oh.
know, so then I'd be like, okay, I don't want to be the guy who getting picked on. You know,
Yeah.
so I can't be funny because everybody will think because I'm funny, I'm weak. Or because
Exactly.
I'm
Yeah.
creative, I'm weak. Or you could draw, or you no, they're gonna bully you. You know, so
Hmm.
I was defensive in that way. You know, and I
Yeah.
kind of, but now I'm going back to my roots. You know, so
Yeah.
now she's like happier to see me doing stuff that I always liked. You know, and now I'm here.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
I feel like that's part of like growing up is like kind of revisiting things that you did when you were a child and that, right?
yeah,
Like
exactly.
I find like one thing I always like had to pressure from my dad is like sometimes he would like I guess I was like his oldest son. I wasn't his oldest kid, but I was his oldest son. And I feel like sometimes maybe he would like pressure me to grow up a little bit more faster now. Like I think it was like I don't know, like sometime in elementary school I had like Pokemon games like DS and all that. And I feel like I had to grow to that really quick. So then I just gave it to my little brother and everything and like kind of just made myself like mature a bit
Yeah.
more. But now I like have like a little Switch, like the Nintendo Switch, and I have the Pokemon games again and I have a freaking great time on
Yeah,
that.
bro.
So yeah.
Yeah, bro. Kind of like in that culture, it's like, oh, you're the first boy, so you had to be like
Yeah.
this majestic being with no flaws, you know?
Exactly, yeah, and it was different because, like, for example, my sister, she's the oldest sibling and all that, and we kinda had a joke that she was like the Turkish princess because, like, he would always treat her like a little bit better, like not like crazy, but like he definitely showed a little bit more of an interest in her. And then when I came around, that's when like he started like spending less time around with the family and all that. But yeah, I don't know.
Oh, so you're the last boy.
No,
You're the last
so
born.
no, I am so he had me and my sister with my mom, and then after that, he got married to another woman, and they had 3 kids. So I have 2 younger half brothers and a half sister.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
And how was your relationship with them?
I don't really have one.
No, eh?
No,
Yeah,
no.
yeah, yeah.
Like we did as like kids and all that, but it just felt very off because, like for example, like they would speak in Turkish, and he never taught us how to speak Turkish and everything, and they would like always speak in that, and we couldn't understand, and then we would just find things out from like my uncle, which was his brother, and everything that he would say behind our backs and that, and I don't know, it became a very
Weird.
uncomfortable like experience or position to be around with him and all
Yeah.
that. Yeah,
Yeah, cool. I can imagine that's a lot of pressure, right? Especially for a kid
yeah,
who like knows he's different. You know, because I don't like the his other kids full Turkish.
yes, yeah,
Yes, yeah.
mhm.
So that's so kids that know they're different, you know, and it is a weird place to be,
Yeah,
because
absolutely,
cause
yeah.
you trying to figure out who you are, at the
Hmm.
same time, your dad making you feel uncomfortable, So
Yeah.
yeah, I can imagine because I have kids now, I have kids now. So my first daughter that we was introducing to Britney Spears is my stepdaughter.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, so that's my stepdaughter. So one thing I always try to do is to not make her feel more to not make her feel excluded
Okay.
for certain things.
Yeah.
And then one day she tells me she feels excluded.
Oh,
And I'm like, what do you mean you feel excluded? She's like, you punish Jada, which is my blood daughter,
okay.
different than you punish me. And I'm
Okay.
like, oh, she's like, because I punish my daughter more
Uh-huh.
harsh,
Oh, okay.
it made her feel less excluded. So whereas for me it was
Mhm.
like, okay, I don't want to punish you that hard because I don't want you to feel that I hate
Yeah.
you. To her it was like, oh, you're not punishing me as hard because you don't
Mhm.
like me as much, or so like,
Yeah.
and it just funny how kids at that age they think and they see certain things
Mhm.
that we like take for granted, So because I'm like hard on my daughter,
Mhm.
like I'm playful, I'm that guy, but I'm also like hard, and she sees that, And she's like,
Yeah.
oh, how come if you ground me, right, you don't really follow through with the grounding.
Yeah.
You don't really care to follow up with the grounding. But when you
Mhm.
ground her, you follow up with it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, I didn't think about that. So that's just to say, like, when you have kids and you have stepkids and you have some that clearly different,
Mhm.
like her last name is different,
Yeah.
you know, uh, you have to do so much more to try to keep them in the loop.
Mhm.
But at the same time, you can't do more.
Exactly,
It's
yeah.
like it's like a gray area where you have to
Yeah.
be more thoughtful of it, but you can't be too much, too hands-on with it, because then, oh yeah,
Yeah.
why you give me special treatment?
Mhm.
You
No, I
know?
get that, yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
it's
my
weird.
mom has, like, a boyfriend and everything, but, like, I call him stepdad. Like, they're not married, but, like, they've been together, like, I wanna say maybe 10 years, I could be wrong, but it's kinda like the same thing with that. Like, it's like a different I feel like he doesn't want to I don't know. Here's the thing, if he were to lecture me, I probably wouldn't listen.
Yeah,
I don't really listen, but, like, I don't know, I feel like he would probably have the same kind of like, feeling that you have about that, where it's like, "Oh, I'm not gonna be as, like, rough on him because, he's not necessarily my kid."
yeah,
You know?
yeah.
Yeah.
But is he like into creative arts as well?
No.
Yeah, so I
He's a
think
pretty simple guy, yeah.
yeah, so I think that's why you wouldn't listen though.
Yeah,
I feel
no.
like I feel like it's more. I think I feel like it's not as much authority. It's more like you guys live two different lives. So what he could really tell you about living your life, right? Especially at
Mhm.
your age right now, is it, the thing about creatives, bro, is that we got to this point by not listening.
Mhm, exactly.
I heard someone say a quote. What was it? It was everyone's creative. Everyone's creative when they're born, and the world beats it away.
I could see that, yeah.
Yeah,
Because if you do something and then if you get made fun of it for that, you don't wanna do it again because 'cause you're
exactly.
afraid to be, like,
Yeah,
bullied or something. Yeah,
yeah.
absolutely,
Oh
yeah.
no, yeah. It says it's actually everyone's a storyteller when they're born, and the world takes it away. So, which
Oh,
is the same
okay.
thing, creativity,
Yeah,
right? And
yeah.
it's like when you're young, you would like you would play with toys,
Mhm,
and you
yeah.
would create a world in your mind.
Yeah, your imagination's all
Your
wild and
imagination going,
everything,
and
yeah.
then eventually people be like, "Oh, don't play with toys,"
Yeah.
or you're too big to do this,
Uh-huh.
and then then that part of your brain just dies.
Yeah, and I feel like, for example, like, growing up, my mom wasn't really like that. If I wanted to do something obviously, if it was bad, she'd be like, "Don't do that," but if it was something, like, harmful, like playing with my sister's dolls or something, like, me and my sister would play with her Bratz dolls and that, and I feel like maybe that also gave me a little bit of, like, a and look at fashion and made me wanna, like, dive deep more into that, and I even ended up doing, like, a photo shoot, like, I think 2 years ago, and it was, like, a Bratz photo shoot and everything, and it ended up being, like, one of my most popular ones at the time, so, I don't know, that was, like, a little full circle moment there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So it's weird like that, bro. And like even now with my kids, I see certain things that they do. Like for instance, my son climbing on the couch,
Mhm.
and I'll be like my wife would be like, "Oh no, you need to come off the couch, please. You will fall." But
Yeah.
when I'm with him, I watch him,
Yeah.
and then he falls, and then I go and I tell him, "Okay, well, that's what happens."
Yeah. He has to
Like
learn.
if you go onto the couch, you
Yeah.
fall. That's what happened.
Yeah.
Because I feel like a lot of the times we stop our kids from exploring certain things that they need to explore, like
Yeah.
they need to fall. Like, yeah, you're not going to let them climb on top the fridge or play with knives,
Yeah.
but you need to let them explore so that they could understand that creativity is something that's
Yeah.
accepted around here.
And experiences, even if they may be bad or good, like some experiences that may not be good, you learn the most from and you get stronger from them and everything. So it's a good thing to like not be like too sheltered in that and to actually have like your own little
Yeah,
thing. Yeah.
yeah. So in terms of your photography, because I started film,
Mm-hmm.
and then I started photography.
Okay.
So I started cinematography, right?
Yeah.
Um, but a lot of the stuff that I would watch in cinematography was photography. Like I'll watch a lot. I'll be like, okay, I learn composition,
Mm-hmm.
because I could use it in cinematography,
Yeah.
and I do, right? So I see different styles in everyone. I see different styles. Like even for you, you could take a picture of a house, and I'll see your style over someone who takes pictures of cars and then they take a picture of a house.
Yeah.
Sorry.
It's okay.
So in terms of um your brand and understanding your brand and keeping that brand, because I think that you have a pretty good uh I think you do a pretty good job with that on your Instagram,
Thank you.
like keeping a certain brand. Whereas I
Mhm.
feel like my Instagram is like everywhere. Like I have like this video here, this photo here. I'm like, this is cool, this is cool, this is cool, you
Yeah.
know. But in terms of like cutting down on narrowing on your brand, like what advice you could tell people to, like how do you think about it? Like how does it go through your mind?
Honestly, I honestly don't put as much pressure as I used to on it. I kind of just do whatever, and then it just usually kind of flows together in that. But I guess the best advice I can give is like definitely go out there, experiment. Don't be shy to experiment. If you do something and it doesn't turn out the way you imagined it, that's fine. It's just another project. You can do another one that could be 10 times better, and then you won't even remember that one. And definitely go out, meet other creatives, work with different artists, makeup artists, stylists, and everything, because no matter how many people are on a team for a shoot, they're all bringing something different to it. So you can learn new stuff. You can elevate it in different ways that you couldn't have done on your own. Like, for example, if a stylist, they can make the outfit a lot better. And yeah, just like be experimental. I used to do stuff that was so different, that was just very simple and would kind of blend in with every other photographer stuff. But I just kind of got bored of that, and I started just like mess around on my app or on Photoshop, anything like that, playing with overlays. And then after a certain point, it just kind of stuck around, and then that was like my thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and okay, and because I was watching your tattoo on your
Mhm.
chest, right? And it says to be continued,
Yes.
right? Um, could you explain that a little bit, or?
Yeah. I just got it because like so I've definitely had a past of like mental health and all that and my own issues and dark past. But to be continued, I look at it as kind of like, when you look in the mirror, you're gonna see this tattoo and you're gonna be reminded that your story doesn't end today. You're not defined by your mistakes or what you did yesterday or the day before that. That your story is just gonna keep continuing. You're gonna continue to grow, you can continue to learn, and you're gonna make more mistakes, but in the end, your story is just gonna keep continuing, and at the end of the day, you're just a human being. You're not perfect, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it makes sense because I didn't mean to like jump from one topic to the next. It's just that
Yeah.
I noticed it then,
Mhm.
and it's it's so it's so perfect because one thing I always tell people is like once you chase their dreams, and being an entrepreneur and that kind of stuff, right? Is
Mhm.
like a lot of people think that, oh, you're gonna chase your dreams, or you're gonna I want to be an entrepreneur and you're gonna have good days, and I feel like it's so it's so uh weird that people think that, because I feel like most of us, we have way more bad days than good days.
Yeah.
It's just that the good days are so what feed our soul for the bad days.
Mhm.
But when the bad days come, bro, it's like you have so much voices in your head being like, oh, like everyone is doing the same thing. Like, what make you special? Everybody's trying the same thing.
Yep.
What make you special? And
Absolutely.
then you start to doubt yourself.
Mhm.
And that's the biggest thing, is because of because of our creative minds, we have thoughts that don't feel like thoughts. It feels like there's actually other people living in your head,
Yeah.
and you can hear the voices clear.
Mhm.
And like your mind plays all these tricks on you, and a good day could turn from a good day to a bad day
Yeah.
in a split second. But because we know how to deal with it, most people think that we're always good. It's like, oh,
Mhm.
look at that photographer, he's always happy. It's like, nah,
No.
that's not how it is. It's just that we learn how to deal with these voices,
Yeah.
so that we don't have to make your day bad. Because
Exactly.
if I act like my day is bad, no, your day is bad, because now you're gonna be like,
Yeah,
oh,
that energy
Vince
is
is
gonna rub off. Yeah,
exactly,
yeah.
and we are aware of those things.
Mhm.
And yeah, so what do you think about that? You think it's
Yeah, I definitely think that like there's definitely been times where like I wanted to like quit photography. I wanted to like give up and go back to school, do something that I would make more money from or something like that. But at the end of the day, photography is the thing that gives me the most joy. I feel like I have a pretty special creative mind that I need to like share that and explore that a bit more. And you definitely just you gotta take every day as like one day at a time, because there it goes in waves. Like there could be like a month where you don't really have anything booked and you're kind of just like in a dump and you're kind of burnt out. You don't really want to do anything. And then the month after that, you're booked like 4 or 5, 6 times a month and you're doing these insane shoots that you never thought would happen. Like, for example, I grew up as a kid, I would watch like wrestling, like I would watch like WWE. Are you familiar with
Yeah, for
WWE?
sure. It
Yeah.
was WWF when I was a
Yeah.
kid.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there was another company called TNA, and then, um, just recently this year, I had the opportunity to work with a former WWE superstar. Her
Wow.
name's in WWE, her name was Naomi, but now she is Trinity. And I got to meet her and work with her and work with Impact Wrestling, and it just totally, like, took all the doubt out of me. Like, I no longer doubted myself and everything. I was like, "Wow, all these people that are, like, huge, like, celebrities and, like, people I used to look up to believe in me and love my work, so I should feel that way."
Yeah.
And working with them has just been amazing, and, like, I'm even going to work with them again soon, and, it definitely has helped me, like, not doubt myself and all that, but, yeah, the days that it's hard, I guess, like, the best thing to do is photography is really hard to get into full time, I find, at least in London, Ontario. You kinda just gotta appreciate where you are in that moment and appreciate what you do have. For example, I'm really thankful that I have my own creative space, my own studio where I can create stuff, and that I have so many creative, cool people in my life that can help me bring these things to life. And, not everyone has that outlet to be creative and all that. So, me having that, it definitely makes the harder days a little bit less hard. And you just kind of got to like step back and appreciate what you have done so far.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. I understand that one. It makes sense because it's what I do. Like a lot of the times on days when I do feel like that, I will just learn stuff, bro. I
Yeah.
just go on YouTube and
YouTube
like
tutorials.
go
Yeah.
on like yeah, like learn something new,
Yeah.
and that's why I try to channel my energy or
Hmm.
like listening to podcasts or just taking like a lot of like something I find myself doing a lot is I like to look at things that people see every day and
Okay.
take photos of,
Okay.
you know?
Mhm.
And it's like simple things that people take for granted.
Mhm.
Like the other day I was crossing the road here and I took a picture of urban,
Oh, okay. Yeah.
and or I'll take a picture of the lamp pole with the light on the leaves over there,
Mhm.
like things that just for my own practice, I'll
Yeah.
just take that and I'll be like, okay, let me try to edit it and try to make it cool. So I do things like that, I
Mhm.
do meditate, I do
Yes,
take
meditation.
time to like meditate, even if it's something quick, like 10 minutes.
Yeah, it's a start, like,
Yeah, try to like rinse
Yeah.
off all the energies and that kind of stuff.
Mhm.
Um, that's another thing that I do, bro, and it's been working. Like for me, the last 3 weeks was like tough, because as we were talking about before, like every time I
Mhm.
had a podcast schedule, something will happen.
Yeah.
And my wife, she just started chasing her dreams because we always had kids,
Mhm.
and she's doing like personal training.
Oh, okay,
Yeah, yeah,
nice.
yeah. So she's
Yeah.
a personal trainer, but they only do for like women and that kind of stuff because you know how men weird. Like a lot of men just weird, bro.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, bro.
Y'all weird.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I never knew until them, so that's weird.
Yeah, yeah.
So so she'd been doing that and we've been trying to see how our schedules could line up so that we could both do what we want to do. And because
Mhm.
I can do certain things I wanted to do,
Yeah.
it was depressing for me because I sat this morning and I told her, I'm like, I realized I was depressed because I'm, and I don't mean this in any bad way, but I think I'm just like a alpha.
Okay.
Like I need to be the one killing to eat. And
Yeah.
if it's not me, then who? Like for instance, I'll be like, in my mind, I'm like, oh, if you working now, why you need me? It's
Mm.
almost like getting married and then like you have a wife and then you hire a maid and then your wife be like, why would you hire someone to cook and clean if I'm here? Like
Yeah.
it's like that sense of purpose
Yeah.
is like threatened. It's like that's how I felt. That's just how I felt.
Yeah.
I probably am wrong for feeling that way, but it was new to me because that's I just need to be the one to kill and feed. You
Yeah.
know?
That's fair, yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
feel like, growing up, I never really cared about being, like, the smartest kid or anything like that, like, my sister was a smart kid, but I was just always more into, like when I was a kid, I wanted to be a dance choreographer, I wanted to be I kind of wanted to be an actor for a bit, and I did that for like 2 seconds, but I never really stuck in that. But I always wanted to be like the creative kid in the family and all that. I wanted me to be like that little, like, I don't know, not the black sheep in a bad way, but like the creative kid and all that. And that was just my thing and everything. So I kind of can relate with that. Like if I wasn't the creative kid, or if my sister, she's a really good drawer. So at one point she was like becoming really big into art, and I was like, no, I'm the creative
Yeah.
kid, you know? Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
But yeah, I get
and
that.
as you said, I remember this one time because I was always the funny one, and
Hmm.
then one day, my older brother just started to be funny out of nowhere, and then I used to be so angry. I used to be like, what's my purpose if you're the
Yeah.
funny one now?
Like, who do you think you
Yeah,
are?
right. It's like,
Yeah.
yo, your job is not jokes. He's a
Yeah.
pretty boy. It's like your job is to be pretty.
Yeah.
You
Stay
just
in your
be,
lane.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let me be this guy.
Uh-huh.
This is all I have. All I had was my mouth. I wasn't like a good looking kid. I wasn't like, well, to me, I wasn't a good looking kid. I wasn't smart. I was short.
Hmm.
I wasn't that great at sports.
Yeah. I wasn't good
So
at sports either.
like I was like the kind of kid I was a middle kid. I was a middle child in my
Oh,
household,
okay.
but I
Okay.
was a middle kid in society. It was like I
Oh,
wasn't a cool kid, but I wasn't a nerd.
yeah.
So I wasn't smart enough to be with the nerds, but I
Hmm.
wasn't cool enough to be the cool kids.
I think I get that too, because like, I don't know, I definitely never wanted to blend in, but I never wanted to stand out, if that makes
Exactly,
sense. Like, yeah, I
exactly.
wanted to be somewhere in the middle, but as I get older, I don't really care as much
Yeah,
now. I'm
no, it's
like, I
different.
want things to be fun, you know? And like, I'm planning to move to Montreal or Toronto in the next year. And I feel like moving there will definitely help that come out of me a bit more, you
Yeah, for
know?
sure, for sure. I
Yeah.
think you should definitely move to Toronto. But Toronto, like any young creative, with bro, Toronto, because you have no kids,
Yeah.
it's just you. Like you could literally live in your car. I don't know if you drive, but you could literally live in
No.
your car
Yeah.
for a year or 2 years.
Yeah,
You
and I'm
know?
willing to hustle and, sacrifice what I have to sacrifice and everything. Like I'm someone who likes my alone time and living alone and all that, but with moving, I have a plan to move with one of my good friends and all that. And, that's like a little sacrifice. Is like giving up a lot more of my free time, and I will be paying more for rent and things and everything, so I'll have to hustle a bit more, but I honestly have big dreams, and I can't live without achieving them, or at least pursuing them.
Yeah.
So I'm willing to sacrifice and, like, get dirty and do what I have to do for that.
Yeah, I think it's really possible, and I think you should
Thank you.
do it. I like, bro. If you ask me for my advice, I would tell you don't even wait until next year. I'll say you
Yeah.
do it
Honestly,
tomorrow
if I
because
had the money and it wasn't expensive rent, I would be there right
you
now. But
see.
yeah.
So this is the thing, bro. Is that yeah, it's the rent is expensive and that kind of stuff. But if you wait until you could, then you have money to relax.
That's true, actually. Yeah.
But if you go on, bro, I don't know how I go and eat tonight.
Yeah. You want to go starving so that you're extra
Yeah,
hungry.
bro. So
Yeah.
that way like if somebody called you on the other side of the city for a photo shoot,
Hmm.
that's not paying that much, but it paying, you'll be like, okay,
Yeah.
I have to go because I don't
Hmm.
have one right now.
That's
You
true.
know, like,
Yeah.
bro, put me at your age, 24,
Hmm.
with with the knowledge I have now, I would literally go on marketplace. You have your driver's license?
I don't have a driver's
Oh
license
well,
now.
I
Yeah.
would get my driver's license. Or
Yeah.
I would literally go on marketplace, buy
Hmm.
one of those minivans, and
Okay.
turn that into a house and let's live out of that in
Yeah.
Toronto.
Honestly, I would love to do that. Like,
Yeah,
I've
bro.
seen so many videos of those people, like, like ripping out those old school buses and making it into like a cute little apartment. And I'm
Bro.
like, oh my God, that'd be so cool.
Yeah, I'm telling you, bro. Like now is like even if you don't do that, even if you know somebody that where you could grind, bro. But
Hmm.
now is the best time to move, bro. Because now is
Yeah.
now. Like next year,
Exactly.
like we not one thing in life we not promise is tomorrow, bro.
Hmm.
Like
Yeah.
that's one thing we not promise. And if you quit everything right now, yeah, you shouldn't take my advice because I am very risky. I'm that guy.
Sometimes risk pull off though.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
It is. Like as you see, I spend all my money on like camera equipment and
Yeah,
that
yeah,
kind of.
yeah.
I'm very risky.
Yeah.
So if it was me, bro, I was just gonna be like, I'd wake up one morning and be like, I'm gone.
Yeah.
That's how I ended up in Alberta.
Okay, okay, yeah.
Because I was in London,
Mhm.
and one day I was like, okay, I'm gone, bro.
Yeah.
I'm gone, and I went, and then I figured it out, like you will figure it out because you still have
Mhm.
family here. You still have your mom one day who I don't know if your mom so that much supportive, like financially. But even if you had to come back after 2 months and sleep by somebody couch, you must have enough friends who you could sleep by the couch for a couple of
Yeah,
months
absolutely. Yeah,
if you
yeah.
had to come back, So,
Yeah.
but you have, and right now your friends are in places where they do have kids,
Mhm.
so they could help. You sleep on the couch. When you get to my age, all your friends have kids, bro.
Oh,
So
yeah,
you
yeah,
can't
yeah.
really go and sleep by somebody's house,
Yeah,
you
it's
know.
slowly starting to happen, like, some of my friends are getting kids, I'm like, "Oh, no, we're getting
Exactly.
old."
You're getting
Yeah.
old now. So,
Yeah.
bro, now is the time for you to take that gamble,
Absolutely, yeah.
and now is the time to lose, bro.
Well, like, that's why, like, when my friend brought up the idea of moving, I was like, "You know what? I can't skip past this opportunity this time," and if anyone, it would be her. Like, me and her travel together all the
Yeah.
time, so we could live together, but I also find she also helps put me on my comfort zone sometimes too, so living with her would definitely help me even, like, push myself more. Like, I definitely struggle with, like, anxiety and everything, so sometimes I'll, like, second guess myself too much where I don't wanna, like, put myself out there because I fear, like, I don't know, either being turned down or something like that, but when I'm with her, I definitely feel a little more confident, and she also helps remind me that I'm
Yeah.
talented and I'm creative and I can do what I dream of and all that.
And this is a nice thing as you say that, bro, is that we were talking before, and we are talking about how we feel like all the or like most of the people who get like all the good jobs and stuff are like mediocre at what they do.
Yeah.
And this is something that I think about all the time. So how many times do you see someone who is ugly with someone who's good looking? This is I'm not judging anybody, but in your mind, how many times have you seen someone that's ugly with a good looking person, and you're like, how?
Here and there.
Yeah,
A
it
couple
happens.
times,
It
yeah.
happens a lot. It happens a lot. So
Yeah.
the thing about it is that these people who have nothing to lose, they have nothing to lose, bro.
Fair enough, yeah.
But when you're creative and you spend a lot of time into your work, it's so much more vulnerable to put
Mhm.
yourself out there and say, look at me. Because most of your photography is you. Even if you taking a picture of somebody else, it's
Mhm.
you. It's an emotion that you have that
Yeah.
you bring through somebody else through the camera. And that's what most people don't realize. People think it's just a photo, and it's like, no, it's not.
Yeah. It's a lot more
Yeah,
than that.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
exactly.
Mhm.
It's part of you that you see in the photo, that why you want to take the snap,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
And that's scary because somebody could be like, no. And when somebody tells you no, you think the person don't like you, don't want you.
Mhm.
But it's not the person don't want you, it's just not the style they're going for. It could be not the style they're going for.
Yeah.
It could be that they already have a connection with somebody else. So it's not necessarily
Yeah.
you,
There's usually a lot into it, yeah, but
Exactly. But creatives,
that's
we don't see that. We just see it as,
yeah.
you don't want me?
Yeah, they sometimes take it too personal now, but that's the thing too I've learned about, like, with working in the industry, like, don't take things personal and don't really have any expectations. Like, go into things with a positive attitude and mindset, but, like, don't be like, this is how it's gonna happen because if it doesn't happen like that, you're gonna be disappointed and it's
Yeah.
gonna discourage you. Where lately I've just been kind of like, you know what? Like, I'm not gonna overthink it too much. I'm just gonna go with the flow and like let things happen, and then it ends up being amazing. I don't have anything I'm sad about not happening because I expected it to go this way, but it actually went this way. But either way, it ended up great. And I lost my train of thought there. I'll have to edit that part out.
No,
Yeah.
it happens. It happens. Trust me. Trust me.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, so I don't know. I feel like you just have to pay yourself out there, bro,
Yeah.
and believe in yourself. And if, as I say, at 25, even me at 33, I'm 33. I'm almost 10 years older than you.
hmm
You know, you're 25, right?
24.
24. Oh,
Yeah.
so you see, it's closer than I
Yeah.
thought. It's closer to 10 than I thought. So at 33, bro, I'll tell you, right, is like even me with this shop, because I was 27 when I started this shop,
hmm
right? Is that you have to see this time of your life as the time to lose everything.
hmm
You know, don't even think about gains. Don't think
Yeah.
about winning. Right? That shouldn't be on your mind. Like
hmm
winning shouldn't be like, yeah, you want to win, but
Yeah.
that should be like a back of your mind thing. Right now you want to feel.
Yeah.
Right? Right now you want to feel, because when you feel, it means that you try something and you learn something.
hmm
You know, trial and error. Trial and
Exactly.
error, trial and error,
And
trial and
that's when
error,
you learn
trial
the
and error.
most too, is when you make a
Exactly.
mistake. Yeah.
Exactly. You know, so you want to be that guy to be like, I go to Toronto, and most people when you if you come back, which I don't think you would, Be like, oh, you back now? We should do something. It's like, oh, you don't want to do something when I was there trying. You don't want to hang out then,
Yeah.
but now you want to hang out because you see in the same place as you again.
Mhm.
So just be mindful of that.
Yeah.
Just be mindful of the company you keep, and
Absolutely, yeah.
bro, take those risks, bro.
Yeah.
Take those risks, dog.
Honestly, I'm all about risk. Like even when it comes to like concepts and that, I like to like do stuff that's kind of like pushing against the grain. Like,
Exactly, I can see it in your photos, right?
yeah,
Like,
maybe something that's a little more like spicy for Instagram or something like that, but like still like keeping it kind of tame, but like definitely pushing at it.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Cause
And
I
I
see
feel
it in
like
your photos a lot. That's what you like to do.
yeah,
You like those bright colors
yeah.
and that kind of stuff. And it's photography. Like as I say, bro. Like I see different styles of photography all the time.
Hmm.
Like I see people who like gritty photography. Like
Yeah.
somebody would take a picture of a guy standing on the side of the street,
Hmm.
and it will be gritty, and there will be so much personality and storytelling in that one shot
Yeah.
that I'll be like, how did he see that and I didn't see that? Why didn't I see
Yeah.
that?
It's crazy what some of these people can actually like bring to life.
Exactly, and then
Yeah.
I'm like there was this one photographer who his whole book is like abstract. It's like shadows.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I can't remember his name. So one of my friends showed me the book. So his whole book is like he'll take a picture of a shadow on a wall, like
Okay.
a building's shadow on a white wall,
Yeah.
and I'll watch it, I'll look at it, and I'll be like, how how do I not see these? Like how
Yeah.
does he see this? Like how do we not see this every day? And
Yeah.
be like, that's so cool.
That's how I look at people who do like more like architecture, like photography and all that. Cause I'm not really someone who like I've done it before in the past where I go outside, take pictures of like buildings and like maybe edit it, but it's not really my vibe. And just looking at how they capture it and like you can just feel something from
Yeah,
theirs. Where mine, I just be like, no, I just took a picture of a building,
yeah,
you know?
exactly.
Yeah.
Or like why he choose that lens, or
Exactly. Yeah.
yeah. So it's different, and it's therapeutic.
Hmm.
To learn different things, some different people, and to learn different styles, and
Yeah, and it's also fun to like explore different things. Like I'll do something like maybe one day I'm feeling more of like doing like a fashion editorial, so it's a little more like not as funky colors and like crazy edits and all that. And then the next day I'm like, no, I want to do something that's a little more like I don't know, like pop arty, like a lot of like collage vibes or something like that, or like a illusion type thing on it. And then the next day I'm doing like baby photographs. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like I just tried like doing it all so I can like, kind of get like my own little perspective of it all.
yeah, exactly, and learn everything, right? And
Yeah, and have a
figure
strong
it out.
portfolio.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's good. Though. So, what you think is the next steps for you? Like in terms of like, where's your goals?
Well, a goal ever since I like really got into photography was to shoot for like big magazines like Vogue magazine, Paper magazine, all those. I think in the next year, I definitely want to be moved, maybe assigned to like an agency or something. Definitely working with a lot more like experienced models. Like,
Hmm.
believe it or not, a lot of the models I work with have never modeled before. That's why I'm like, yo, anyone can shoot with me. I can shoot a freaking chopstick and make it look like a model or something like that. So I definitely want to put myself out there a bit more, start taking a bit more risk and all that. And then maybe one day a cool job would be to like go on tour with like a musician or something like that and like do like backstage photo shoots and that. I kind of did that with Fifi Dobson. Are you familiar with Fifi Dobson?
No.
No, she's like a big Canadian artist. I think she's from Toronto originally, but she was here for London Pride, and I got in contact with her manager and all that. We were gonna do a photo shoot in my studio at my apartment and everything, but then with some conflicts like scheduling and getting into London on time, I had to do just like a 5 minute backstage photo shoot. But like even that, like I took what I got and I made the best of it, and it became huge. Like that was like I think it was my second photo shoot for celebrity, but like my first like musician, like
That's
pop
cool.
star type thing. Yeah. And like that's always been a dream is to work with pop stars. Like everyone that's ever inspired me, like I would love to work with like Lady Gaga, Brooke Candy.
I think Lady Gaga is your style for sure.
Yeah, even Doja Cat. Like I could do a
Yeah,
lot of cool stuff with
Doja
Doja.
Cat, or even this guy, the Spanish guy,
Bad Bunny?
Bad Bunny.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
He'd be cool. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, I think like that's your forte, that kind of style,
Yeah.
you know.
Absolutely. I love just like doing like unique weird things too. Like if someone has like colored hair, I always love doing that because it's a little different. Like I don't like basic stuff. Like you
Yeah,
know what I mean? Like I don't want to do stuff that everyone else is doing. Not that that's bad or anything, but I like to have my own little area of photography.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay, that's good though. So, all right, I think. I could cut this out. There's anything else you want to talk about? Or are you good?
No, I think I'm good.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think we touch on
Yeah.
everything.
Did photography, yeah, relatable stuff, life. Yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
Oh, that was good timing too. So, okay, so where did we end last time?
Hmm?
I can't try to remember where we end to continue. The last thing we said was
Like, where do I see myself?
oh yeah,
in-
right.
Yeah.
So with these celebrities and stuff.
Hmm.
Okay, so um yeah, so that was your second your second celebrity.
Yes.
And so who was the first celebrity?
The first was Trinity Fatu. So she was the former WWE
The
superstar.
WW
Yeah.
she was WWC or
No, WWE. She was in.
WWE.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
She was also on a reality show called Total Divas. It was like on the same network as Kardashians or something like that.
Oh no, I don't watch
Yeah.
I don't watch reality shows.
Fair. Yeah. It was
Yeah.
pretty popular. I think it stopped airing like a handful of years, maybe a little bit before the pandemic and that, but it was also pretty popular. And then after I was working with her, um, Impact actually reached out and I started doing more stuff with them. I got to do all of their Halloween photo shoots. So I got to work with a couple other former WWE superstars and then also some more of Impact and TNA's current stars. So some of the other names are Deanna Perrazzo, Killer Kelly, Gia Miller, Masha Slamovich, Killer Kelly. I think I already said that one,
Yeah.
but yeah, it was a great experience. And now I have like friendships with them and everything, which I never would have expected, but I'm so grateful for them. And yeah, they're really cool to work with.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
So do you like do you just like DM them or
So how did that one? So that one originally started. I had a friend who I think he interviewed Trinity, and then it was when she was announcing her first few stops, and they happened to be in London, Ontario. So I found the producer's Twitter, sent him a DM and everything, being like, "Yo, I have a really cool idea that'd be perfect for Trinity because her gimmick's kind of like she glows in the dark, kind of like she's like Trinity Star, she's a star, she shines and all that, and she has a lot of cool like outfits that glow in the dark. So I was like, yo, let's do a really cool editorial with that. And then they ended up even asking me to do like a pride photo shoot for them. And after that, we just kept in contact and everything. And then yeah, now I'm here. I even got to work at RuPaul's Drag Race. I did the RuPaul's Drag Race Work the World tour. I got to do all the live photos for that when they came to London.
that's crazy. That's
Yeah,
good.
I was supposed to do also photo shoots with them backstage, but I think it was something with like rehearsals, and they got in London at different times, like the Queen, so it wouldn't really work with the rehearsal and getting ready and all that. And yeah, but I always have the connection still, so next
Yeah.
time. But yeah,
That's good though, bro. That's good. And it's good to see you it's good to see you chasing your dreams.
mhm.
It's good to see anybody chasing their dreams, but you're here with me right now, just for
Yeah.
anybody, yeah. So it's good to see you chasing the dream, and it is to me like a breath of fresh air, and I did learn a lot in terms of the way you think, you
Mhm.
know, and I really want to see you take that move to Toronto or Montreal or Vancouver,
Yeah.
or even if you do it from London, but go to a bigger city actually, you
Yeah.
know,
It's
LA,
definitely gonna happen.
you know, yeah. 'Cause I
Sooner
think,
than later, it's happening.
yeah, bro.
Yeah.
I think you should definitely make that jump now, you know.
Mhm.
So yeah, bro, it was good to finally get to sit and speak to you after like all the delays and
Yeah.
every time we were supposed to meet something happening or something
Mhm.
comes up. But I'm back now with it and hopefully I'm good, you know. So
Yeah.
yeah, bro. So it's good. I don't know if you want to plug yourself in.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, my Instagram, it's kind of tricky how to spell it, but it's visuals, but it's V_ISUAL_S. If you just type in V underscore, it should pop up. It's also my TikTok handle, and Facebook. And yeah, if you want to do any funky, cool magazine photo shoots or even maternity photo shoots or family portraits, anything like that, hit me up. And yeah,